Here we go. Toy Story, the 5th one now. Okay. A special delivery, most likely for Andy. Purchased by his mother.
Bonnie, there's a package for you.
Oh, Bonnie. Oh. Oh. What are they terrified about? Is it an iPhone?
Oh, thank you.
Oh, a tablet.
I'm Lilypad. Let's play.
Okay. Damn, even Woody and Buzz are scared. Okay. I mean, yeah, it makes sense. Oh, wait a second. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. At the end of 4, yeah, they all left. They already left, or not they already left. Woody already left Bonnie, right? Because Andy's favorite toy was always Woody, so he was just, you know, automatically made the leader. But Bonnie liked the girl, the cowgirl instead, right? So she kind of is like, Jessie is like now like the leader of them. And Woody, you know, I guess, because it's been so long since I watched Toy Story 4, right? Like the first time I saw it was when it came out, and I only watched it that one time, and I never wanted to watch it again, right? Because, you know, the obvious problem everyone has is the whole moral of the trilogy was to never leave a toy behind, right? The whole message was to stick with your guys, stick with your family, stick with your friends till the very end, no matter what. And the 4th movie kind of just says, oh, never mind, right? Like that moral, right? That philosophy, I guess you could say, is situational, right? That's why what happened in 4 when they all just said, all right, well, we'll see you later then. See you around, I guess. And Woody decided, you know what, instead of being with the family, I'm going to be with just the one person, right? I'm going to live the rest of my life with that person. But that's weird, because one time I saw a video of this one lady. She like talks about like, you know, movies and stuff, and mostly Marvel. She I didn't see the trailer until now. I saw her video first, like halfway through it, and that's when I realized, oh wait, I should probably react to this first, because I didn't know that they released a trailer until after I saw her video. Then I'm like, oh wait, let me check. And then that's when I saw that Pixar did upload this, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna stop watching her and let me watch it for myself. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So then what was the point of 4? What was the point of 4 then? It's as if like Pixar knew that they screwed up so bad with the 4th movie that 5 maybe it's like it's not really a Toy Story 5. It's not really a Toy Story 5. They're just numbering it, but it's more like 3.5, right? Or no. Actually, yeah. It's more like 3.5, because in the 4th movie, if I try to remember, like she already was taking a liking to Jessie, right? Because she's a girl, Jessie's a girl, right? So she was already making Jessie like the main, as you know, her favorite toy. That was her favorite toy, and that's when Woody was like, I don't know, this whole, you know, sticking with your kid, you know, to the day you die, till the day they die, I guess, right? Because the toys can't die. It's just not for me, right? So then, you know, he had that whole arc in 4. It's just so weird. It's such a weird, that's something video games do, right? Or like any kind of media or anything where like they have retcons, you know, where they set something up and then sometimes a sequel, or after the making of the trilogy, after that, they're like, oh, never mind. It was like this in the first one, but not anymore, right? The only one that comes to mind is like Star Fox, right? But that wasn't really a retcon. That was more like translation issues, because there's this planet named Ficina. It's a cold planet. It's all frozen. It's like if you took Antarctica and made that a planet. But in the original Star Fox 64, it was accidentally named Fortuna. Fortuna is a whole completely different whole planet that's lush and green and full of forests. Like I would say, if you took Greenland, let me make sure that's even the right freaking word. Greenland. No. Okay. So just like on the actual planet Earth, Greenland is Iceland and Iceland is Greenland. But they're named the other one. Okay, so make Iceland Fortuna, right? That's basically like what Fortuna is. It's like all forests and it's beautiful and it's green everywhere. You got waterfalls and stuff. So I like that's not really a retcon, but like you kind of get what I'm getting at. If you watch anime, you understand what I'm saying by what I mean by a retcon, and that's kind of like what Pixar's doing. They're like, all right, let's make a fourth one. And let's like ignore like money for now. I know money's like a huge thing, but like let's just say the fourth one really was they wanted to make something special. They wanted to make something awesome. They wanted to put to rest the Toy Story movie. And saying that out loud doesn't even make sense because the third one literally ended the best way possible, right? Is the best way to move on and have people thinking like, oh, okay, so that's what happened when Andy grew up and went to college. And, you know, college isn't a place for toys, right? And it's for studying and focusing on your future, you know? And at 3 ended the best way possible. That is like the best trilogy ever. It's Toy Story 1, 2, and 3 is like the best, right? They're only like an hour each, but it's like it tells so much story in just those 3 hours, you know? Right? 3 hours, give or take, 3.5, whatever. But it's making me think now, it's like, why even make 4? At the time, I even thought that. I remember I was, after a ride, the drive back home, I was with my cousin Johnny and we both saw it on release date. And there were just problems after problems. Like for my cousin Johnny, it was, they made Buzz like retarded. Like they made him just completely moronic for no reason. And I'm trying to remember what the problem was. It was like, because he's like, you know, his factory default settings, right, is all space stuff, right? But I don't know, it just feels like like cheap. It just feels like a shortcut because it's like it never came off that way because there's so much that goes into space that, right, wouldn't things on a planet be more simple? Like being a spaceman and driving around ships and shooting, that you got to be smart for that. They don't just put a freaking hobo in there and be like, we're good, just to take care of that squadron over there. No, you have to have a level of intellect to even get in one and operate one, right? So that's what I'm saying, like when they're like, right, when they say that stuff with Buzz, it just doesn't make sense to me. It's like, I guess, but not really. And then, so with Bo Peep, that was my first ever like girl boss moment where there was a female character that I loved and they made her into a girl boss. Bo Peep was the first one. For me, that was the first one. The first character that ever like stood out to me where I was like, whoa, what's this for? You know? And then the second one was Movie Peach, but I'm not getting into that. I can ramble for a whole hour about that. Because that was the one where I drew the line. Movie Peach from the Super Mario Brothers movie, for those who don't know. But yeah, I don't really know what else to say besides what was the point of 4 then? Because it's like, the ending of 3 was already depressing enough. But it gave you hope, right? Because it was like Andy passed it along, right? Instead of all the toys dying in that pit where they were heading into that, you know, those flames where they were all just going to be toast, you know? Instead of that, it was properly passed along and it gave everybody, it was bittersweet. That's what it was. Toy Story 3 was a bittersweet ending. It was like, you hate that it happened, but it's nice to know that, you know, the toys are able to move on, I guess. I was trying to find like a more stronger word for that. But yeah, basically come to terms. That's more like it. Come to terms and move on with their lives. And then 4, like I said, I'm just trying to remember 4 from the top of my head after watching it once the day it came out. I just remember being so angry. I just remember being not angry, more like upset. I was just like so upset. I'm like Woody already had to say goodbye. Why make another movie where he has to say goodbye again? But it's even worse because it's not just Andy. Now it's everybody he's ever known. As far as I'm concerned, and maybe the audience, Woody and Andy, that's all he's known, right? Because like that's how the first movie sets it up, right? It's like when a toy is first created, when you take them out of the box, then they come to life after the kid leaves, right? So you're thinking, okay, so that's probably what happened to all the toys when Woody was first manufactured, and when Andy first opened them up, it's like, a baby chick with their mother duck. It's like, boom, you're automatically mommy. You know what I mean? Like, I'm guessing that's how it was, because that's how it to me, that's how it is, how the first movie puts it. And then, like, after that, whenever Andy got more toys, Woody kind of just, like, helped them understand that, this is our lives, We're toys, and we're there for Andy. He loves us, we love him, and that's it. I'm not sure where I was going with that, but I don't get it. I don't get it. It's just like, then why 4 then? Why even 4? Like, it's really hard to, like, not just jump to the conclusion and say, they did it because it's going to make money. That's what it feels like. Because, like, why would you make your audience sad again? For what? Right? Because the third one, that made everybody sad. Like, if you didn't cry at the end of Toy Story 3, go watch something else. Toy Story's not for you. And then Toy Story 4, it just felt like, I don't know. Because, like, I feel like all the diehard Toy Story fans were just, like, so... They had such an emotional time with the ending of 3 that, like, when 4 happened, it's just like, what? Why? Why the hell are you doing that? Why the hell did Pixar make this? And now 5 is out, and you can just see it. It's common sense. You can see that Woody and okay, see, if they didn't put Woody, that would have been interesting. That would have been a true Toy Story 5. That would have actually made sense canonically. But they brought Woody back. So obviously, this takes place before the 4th movie. But why? Why make 4 then? This movie should have been 4. This movie should have been Toy Story 4, right? Because if the whole movie is going to revolve around that pad, right? If the whole movie is going to revolve around that iPad, to me, it feels like they're not going to be able to focus on Bonnie. This is if 4 didn't exist. If this was 5, this would just be Bonnie's story and all the Toy Story. They're like, okay, we have a new owner. All right, let's hope we get along and everything's cool and chill. And, it's kind of like how it was with Andy. And then, boom, she gets a new iPad. And all of a sudden, now she don't want to play with no toys. And right, maybe the whole movie, they're trying to get her attention. 4 just ruins everything, dude. This just made Toy Story 4 worse. Seeing this trailer, just like, I think for anybody, this just made Toy Story 4 even worse. Because Pixar, when you make something like that and make it official, you don't just forget it. You don't just tell everybody, right? Oh, now that 5's out, 4 didn't happen. 4 was a real, 4 was a dream. You have to make that part of the actual movie. You don't just tell people that, right? Because when you don't have diehard fans that don't look into this stuff and, right, search details about it, right, just like get hyperfixated on this piece of media, they're just going to be confused. You're just going to have a confused audience. Why? Why, Pixar? Why? Why 4 then? This should have been 4. What were you thinking?